What's happening, Soul Fam? So we're going to do another Tarot Tuesday today. So what we're going to be doing is you're going to be picking rather the Native American deck, the Yin Cloud deck, or the Yang Cloud deck, okay? Now, today's reading is going to be a little bit different than all the other readings just because I'm going to be doing it face-to-face like I don't normally do. And I'm also gonna be delivering some real tea here. So pick one of those decks, get ready. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, all right? And give this video a like, obviously. We're gonna start off with the Native American deck. And we're gonna straight up just read it like I would read it for a friend. Usually I read in the style of like, you know, super huge professionalism. Today I'm not feeling that. I just want to deliver the real tea to you to get you to the next step possible. We're almost done. All right. So if you pick this deck, this is what they have to say to you. Right now, you're in a very aligned state with the universe. You are manifesting so much energy, but you need to remember what is your divine essence, right? Like, why did you come here and what are you supposed to be doing? Usually you can figure this out by thinking about the hardest lesson you've ever had in your life. So like for some people, it's very, very difficult for them to learn how to love. For other people, it's very difficult for them to feel abundant. That is your truest nature that the universe is trying to call out to you in this moment. So you should just be focusing on that energy and no other energy, all right? Because this is what is absolutely necessary for you to really tap into your next ascension stage. That is what's creating your new world. This is the world card. One thing is ending and another thing is being created. In order for you to create what you actually want in its full spectrum, you need to remember that lesson. So if you're somebody who's always struggled with abundance, every day, and this is what I do, I usually do like 40-day meditations, but what I end up doing is like I go ahead and I'll be like, okay, if abundance was my issue, then for 40 days, I am abundant, I am this, and I'm just channeling that energy that I know is deficient in my system, and it becomes a part of my nature. What's really cool is if you look at this, the first card is 12 and the second card is 21. So really what they're trying to say to you is that you need to stay positive as you continue to manifest new things into your reality. Otherwise, you're gonna have a hard time doing that. The next card that comes up is the Devil. Don't worry, the Devil is not a bad card in my deck. It's basically telling you that you have a lot of luck on your side, especially when it comes to Mother Earth, okay? So they're basically telling you to like ground yourself, ground your energy, ground any of the negative natures that you may be holding, and choose to do something positive so you can create the new world that you're creating, right? So they're basically telling you don't stress out too much because you have all this beautiful energy. All the cosmos is trying to help you right now get to the next level. So stop freaking out, just do your work. But you need to understand that by doing this, there are times where you're going to dry yourself out in the sense of like spiritual energy. So you need to have temperance. You need to be able to say, okay, today I have enough energy to do this, and tomorrow I have enough energy to do this, and kind of have like this balanced spectrum inside of your own reality so you can actually get to the next level. A lot of times when we're trying to create a new reality or a new world, one of the things that we really focus on doing is like, oh, I'm going to go gung-ho, I'm going to give all that energy out there, I'm going to be like the massive master of my reality, and then you burn yourself out. So you really need to get to that point of understanding, don't burn yourself out. If the universe is working with you, if you're already in this transformational shift, if you know that you have all these blessings coming your way, all you have to do is focus on your nature and not give in to the negative aspects of your nature. Not feeling abundant, not feeling loved, whatever, not feeling happy. Those are some of the things that come up. If you do this properly, you will see a lot of material change in your life. And this doesn't have to just do with like money. It can do with like the way you live your life and the way things come to you, right? Like a lot of times people have this conclusion or this goal that they want to become a millionaire or something, or they want to have a partner. But really, you need to harness all that energy inside of yourself for it to become anything external in your reality. A lot of times people are void of love or feeling themselves to be powerful, and then reality only gives them that. So remember, 6 has to do with matter. And the Lovers has to do with birthing something. Weren't we changing something in our world and we're birthing something new? You're in a very powerful shift in your reality. And if you just do what they say, you're guaranteed to have a happy family, a happy experience. But it does take a little bit of inner work. Don't be afraid of ruin, because if you are afraid of ruin, you will be manifesting that ruin, okay? Because a lot of times when we make those shifts, we're like, oh my God, what's gonna happen if I screw it over? Don't focus on it. Just focus on the positive. And there's gonna be times where you feel like this really intense wave coming to you where it's almost like challenging, like you feel like you want somebody to save you or something like that. You need to be your own savior. Finally, remember, contentment is the thing that is waiting for you. So just focus on that. This is the final judgment. Again, another 20, telling you there's nothing else that we have to talk about with this deck particularly. All right? So keep that in the forefront of your mind. That's what they ended up telling you. And then I'm going to leave it right there. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to the Yin Cloud deck, okay? This is going to be telling you some of the divine feminine energies that you've been creating, that you're harnessing inside of you. It's going to let you know what your divine feminine is thinking about and how that's going to play out in your reality, okay? So sometimes the divine feminine can get very chaotic and very like testing. So let's see what we have. Yin deck, you guys are up next. You have a lot of light coming your way. Whoa, so much beautiful light coming your way. And it has to do a lot with just like being in the presence of light, knowing that you're light, knowing that the universe is light, knowing that you have all this potential to do anything that you want because everything is light. And if everything is light and you're light, then everything is you. You should be able to do everything like that. No big deal. But in order to do that, you have to fly above and you have to have a higher perspective of everything you've ever had. You have to be able to see things from like a non-earthly sense to be able to manifest or create the things that you're looking to create. So one of the things that I really focus on my patients and trying to help them see things from a higher perspective is like, don't focus on what you want in reality to happen. Focus on emptying yourself of everything that's telling you you can't have that, okay? A lot of times people are like, I'm going to focus on bringing that thing over here and I'm going to focus on feeling this. But really, like, it's a give and take, right? Everything is duality. So if you want to fill your cup, you have to empty your cup. If you want to fill your cup with clean water, you got to empty it with the dirty water, right? So what you end up doing is you focus on your manifestations and you say, okay, I'm going to end up being in alignment. I'm going to purge everything that's not working for me, everything that's, not from that higher perspective. I'm going to connect to that higher perspective. And then I'm going to see the bigger scope of everything and I'll be able to create, because I'm not creating in the sense of like trying to move matter or trying to change the past. I'm emptying myself. I'm becoming void. I'm becoming the emptiness, because everything is emptiness. If you study Japanese Buddhism, the Sanmon Gateway, it basically tells you a lot about like there's these 3 things that you really need to pay attention to become the ultimate version of yourself. You need to have no form, you need to have like this emptiness to you. You need to have no goals in general or no aim, because if you have an aim, then you're saying that you don't have it. And if you have a goal, then that means that goal is not here in the now. And finally, you need to be aware that everything is blank. Everything just is happening in this now moment, and in order for you to tap into that, you need to detach from everything you've ever known. And once you hit that blank space, you can open your eyes and create something new. Right now, you guys are being asked to do that because you have a major shift that is coming in your life, something that you're going to jump right over, okay? And it's going to be so powerful, but it is going to be challenging. So if you can maintain this light and understand, okay, I'm going to use this light to see things from a higher perspective. This is the time where you should be practicing your tarot. This is the time that you should be practicing anything that I've ever taught you in any of my courses. This is a time where, like, if you haven't been doing your weight, you need to be doing it, all right? No one's going to bring you in alignment with that ability to jump past whatever obstacles you're having other than yourself. So you have to put yourself in that position. And it's all about the earthy card. It's all about grounding your foundations, creating these foundations. Like, there's something in your foundational base that no longer serves you. And like, some of you are aware of that, and I can feel that from you, but you're also kind of like, well, if I change this thing, what's going to happen next? Who cares? Like, that is the unknown. Like, all of reality is a constant sea of known unknowns, all right? So if you're able to put yourself in this position of not being afraid of the unknown and knowing that the unknown, because you chose to dive into it, is always going to come back and bring something to you that you're in resonance with, why are you afraid of the unknown? A lot of people are like, well, I don't know the unknown, I'm afraid. What if I go in there and something bad happens? Are you going into the unknown knowing that you're a powerful being, that you're a being of light, that you're a being of love, that you can have whatever you want, that you can just make anything happen? Are you going into the emptiness like that? Because if you are, you don't have anything to worry about. You're going to come out on the other side of that emptiness, and you're going to essentially align yourself on the other side of that emptiness with that same result that you went into the emptiness with. So stop freaking out. This has to do with change, and if you resist the change, you won't be able to create with the fiery card. A lot of creation energy when the fiery card comes out, telling you that things are happening regardless of whether you want to or not, but you have to let go of this emotional baggage that you've been holding on to, whether it's saying like, you can't do this, or someone else has harmed you, or, you know, there's a track record of whatever happening in your reality that's always caused you like some sort of major baggage, right? Like, a lot of times people are like, I'm done dating, I won't date anybody else anymore because I've dated like 20 people and every person I've ever dated is a shitbag, right? Well, you need to understand that every person you've ever dated that's a shitbag is essentially because you haven't refined your manifestation. You're always manifesting from the same space. Like, if you're always manifesting, oh my God, I'm so horny right now, I want to align myself with somebody who's just gonna sex me amazing, you're gonna manifest that, right? But you're also gonna manifest a fuck boy or a fuck girl, like somebody who's just there literally for the sex, and then you're later found giving your heart to this person, and this person ruins you because all you originally manifested was sex. You did not manifest a connection, right? So a lot of times people put themselves in that position where I'm never going to manifest another lover again, but really you didn't look at what you were manifesting to begin with. You were never manifesting a lover. You were manifesting the sexual interaction. So you need to let go of all the past experiences that you're using to create the future and to justify your present by purging your emotional chakra, your sacral chakra. This is a time where you need to start doing light of emotions for my light clothes class. You need to be doing every sacral chakra key that I have ever given you through my soul alchemy class, through my quantum reiki class, whatever, the chakra mirror 2 phase, okay? Do all of these techniques together or independently and bring out that energy into your reality. If you do, you literally have so many miracles coming your way. This miracle card is beautiful. It's basically telling you harmony is on the way and that you're super uber mega blessed, all right? So you first of all have to come to that position of understanding that your emotions can't guide you anymore. They can't be your compass. And that's a hard thing for a lot of people to understand, is that like, my emotions have saved me from a lot of things, right? But yeah, those emotions that have saved you from things also created those same scenarios that you had to be saved from by your emotions. So it's like this catch-22 that people don't realize is happening with their ego, is that, you know, they're creating a self-perpetuating reality that they are constantly feeding into and having to like escape from and feed into and escape from, because you haven't changed your habits. You need to really keep that in mind and really sit down with silence right now. Like, meditation is key for you guys. Finding that authentic truth inside of yourself, why you do certain things, right? Like I described with manifesting a lover. Like, if you always manifested something out of sex, hoping to find the ideal lover, you're manifesting out of matter. Really think about it. If someone's always manifesting, oh yeah, I want that hot partner, oh my God, that is just smells delicious, and like the sex is bomb and blah, 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 blah. That's all matter. That's not really manifesting like energetic essences that are higher than matter. And that's also going to take you time to bring that to you. And it's going to have some sort of flaw because you're not actually focusing on the content of the energy behind what's being manifested. There's nothing wrong saying that, oh yeah, I want someone who's hot, but there is a problem when that's all you're doing, when everything that you're manifesting is just from matter. It can come down to money, it can come back to your career, anything. Like, do you want a career that pays you more money? Great. All right, I'm going to manifest that career, but that doesn't mean you're going to be happy in that career. And maybe you're manifesting a career with more money because you've always had careers that don't give you enough money. So then you're trading one valuable resource for another because you're not shifting your perspective into a higher dimension. All right, so really focus on that. Now we're going to be doing the Yang Cloud deck. This is going to be telling you more so what's going on in your conscious reality and how that's going to be affecting you subconsciously. So the Yin deck usually tells you, you know, this is what's happening subconsciously and what's going to play out consciously. The Yang deck ends up telling you this is what's happening consciously because you're more so of a conscious person, and this is what's going to be manifesting itself internally as a byproduct. You guys ready? Let's dive into this one. You guys are also creating a ton of energy, a lot of vibration here. If this is the first card that comes out, you're literally tapping into your root and sacral chakras. You are creating a lot. Make sure that your solar plexus chakra is in check because your mind creates everything. Mind over matter, right? We know that through the Kabbalion, we know that through the Law of One, we know that through a bunch of different esoterica. So you are creating. Keep that creational energy that's located inside of your sacral and root chakras in check with your solar plexus, which is your mind. If you practice the quantum heart technique, I just posted like a quick mini 60-second tutorial on TikTok about the quantum heart technique. If you're on Patreon, you can do like the extensive meditations that I've given you on the quantum heart technique. Or if you just want to wait till my abundance class comes out, you can definitely check that out too. But if you harness all that energy into your magnetic center, which is your heart, you will be able to create even faster. You have this gateway of creation open and ready for you. But again, whoa, you need to catch your emotions. You need to clear your emotions. This is verbatim, almost like repeating itself a little bit from what the Yin deck ended up talking about. Those emotions. What are you using from an old emotion to create a new scenario is one of the things that's really important here. You know, like if you're always in that position of like, okay, I'm going to create something, but, you know, the last time I created it, I had this problem where I've never been able to create it, or, you know, maybe my life is not in this position where I'm able to create what I'm looking to create. That's all going to stop you. Like, let go of those emotions. Choose to be something different. Choose to just focus on one vibration. That's one of the most powerful things that I said earlier, you know, like focus on that one vibration and focus on it for 40 days, like literally, and see your life change. It's going to make a huge difference. There's something in the universal energies that needs to be unlocked for you. You're about to hit that next level, but the only way you can unlock that secret from the universe is if you legit let go of those energies that are holding you back in your emotional center. You purify them, and then you continue to create. Once you purify those energies in your emotional center, your sacral chakra, you're going to literally unlock that lock, and it's going to be a massive shift in your awakening. But again, the only way you can do that is if you see above the earthly matters, you get a higher perspective, and you see yourself from a different vantage point. One of the most powerful things that you can do is detach yourself from your personality. Who are you if you are not your personality? Your personality is going to incorporate your habits, your friends, the storyline that you've had, the things that you want to do in the future, you know, the things that are happening right now. If you don't have a personality, what is left? Right? And in Patreon this month, I shared with a couple people, you know, just like through the meditations that, you know, if you have a struggle with abundance, what if there was nothing in the universe but abundance? Like there was no earth, there was no nothing, there wasn't even like your identity, right? There was just abundance. That is a possibility in the infinite spectrum of all realities. Like there is one reality that exists solely that is nothing but abundance, and there's nothing else there. So you need to detach from your personality and your ego to even be able to fathom what that would feel like, and then bring those emotions into this reality so you could create something new. Same thing with like if there was a dimension of reality that had nothing but love, and there's nothing else in there but love, what does that feel like? Safety, like happiness. What is that? Detached from the ego that's creating the problem and exists in emptiness in those spaces. Everything's going to come right around the corner. Whoa, another light card. So you guys are still manifesting light. It seems like you guys are in a different spectrum. You're on the opposite spectrum of what the people in the yang in the yin deck ended up picking out, where those people are more so like tackling some internal stuff to tackle reality. You are already tackling it. You've already gone past it. You're creating. You're really strong. You're really powerful. But you need to remember, harness the light internally, right? Because we're talking about the internal, what's happening externally into the internally. So you need to go ahead and harness that power of light all up in you. So if you're taking the full spectrum of the newer codes that I have, go ahead, take those newer code classes, really focus on that. And again, just like the silent card came out in the yin deck, this is the voice. A deep truth is waiting for you to unlock, okay? And only you can unlock that truth if you're willing to do the work for it. In order to unlock that truth, you need to do some soul searching, some soul alignment. Your soul, at this point, what I really like to focus with people is like, stop focusing on the past, stop focusing on like the things that created your scenario, and more so focus on the fact that like, hey, all right, so my soul clearly put me on this earth to experience this one reality, right? Like, why did my soul put me there? What was the greater lesson behind what I've been experiencing? And let me align myself with my soul. When you do that, you open up like this level of understanding that like you wouldn't be able to understand any other way. But again, a lot of people confuse their identity or their personality as their soul. That's not the same thing. Your personality is one spectrum that your soul decided to step in and play as, right? Your soul is not fully identified by your identity in the present moment. So if you're confusing your soul to being like, Excel, whoever you are right now, like that's not the way you should be viewing your soul. You should be viewing your soul as this being that has no name, that has no identity, that can take any identity it wants. It's pretending to be me right now, right? But it's not the ultimate version of me, right? If you do this, you got a lot of abundance coming to you, all right? So stop freaking out. Like, there's a lot of good energy coming your way, lots of good vibration, you guys. And then we have one final card. The 3 decks want to speak and tell you something in unison that they kind of just feel like you should really understand. So the Yang deck is telling you don't get caught up in your mind. Like, maybe lately you've been feeling like something's off. Maybe today you might have even woken up with anxiety. I definitely had a horrible night, like this crazy nightmare last night where like I pretty much went to Japan, got gypped. Like, I met these people and they were really nice to me, and then they were like, oh hey, like you want to go to this party? And then it turned into like I ended up at this satanic cult and they were trying to kill us, and I escaped, and it was crazy. And I woke up this morning with all this anxiety, like, and then last night I had all this anger and I didn't understand where this anger was coming from. And I was like, oh my God. And on top of that, having all this energy and be like, I don't know what to do with this energy. I'm angry and I have so much energy. Oh my God, oh my God. And it was just like this craziness. So this morning, I'm hype, obviously. I have a lot of energy. And I decided to like not let the experience of my dreams last night or like my experiences yesterday really ruin my day to day. And am I feeling like this hustle mode? Do I have like my own insecurities that I'm dealing with? Absolutely. But I'm not gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let them like cloud my mind. Literally, I'm not gonna let them cloud my mind, because I'm the creator of my reality. That is my ego or my subconscious trying to self-sabotage me from getting to the next level. The yin deck tells you, hey, change is happening, all right? So like a lot of times when you're going through change, you have a lot of thoughts about it, okay? And like change can sometimes really like screw you up in your head and make you like second guess yourself all the time. Stop second guessing yourself. change is going to happen regardless of whether or not you want it to happen or you want to cooperate with it. So stop taking so many second guesses, control your mind, and boof, go with the change regardless of whatever deck you're in, okay? Like, you need to really understand that. And there are habits inside of you that you need to kill right now. Like, you need to love them to death. You need to like choose to say, hey, you don't belong here anymore. You need to go. Whatever it is your vibration is, you need to be on that spectrum of understanding, like, there's an old version of me that right now needs to just go. All right, doesn't matter if that person is traumatized, if that person has always felt like doing things on their own, if that person, you know, that version of you has never felt lucky. That version of you is no longer the true version of you. All right, we're living in a new dimensional reality. There are different spectrums of Earth. Regardless of whatever spectrum you're in and you're watching this video, this message is for you. Regardless of whatever timeline, like 50 years from now, if you watch this video, this still is applicable to you. You need to really understand that this right now is going to unlock so much, and you're the only person that's going to be able to unlock it. The yin wants you to remember, returning to your soul and remembering your highest authenticity will bring out the highest levels of luck and magic for you to be the most powerful being in your reality. Remember, your foundations are what you should be consciously focusing on, and removing any negative energies that are around you, like especially like family and like negative media. Like, that's one of the things I've been really focusing on. Like, on my Facebook, like, I've been really watching what some people are saying. So like, if you're on my Facebook and we're friends and you've seen me like just stop interacting with you, or if you see me stop like defriend you even, like, it's nothing personal. It's just mostly like your vibration has gotten too chaotic, like too sucked into the material world in this. Like, yes, that we're going through a pandemic. Yes, are there things going on in our lives that's really testing right now, but at the same time, each person is responsible of the energy that they surround themselves and to continuously feed themselves. So one of the things that I've done is like, okay, if I notice that one of my friends is just constantly posting like, oh my God, you should be wearing your mask. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. Oh my God, this, all that negativity. Okay, I'm just gonna mute you or unfriend you, because like, I don't need all that shit in my life, right? Another thing that's happening right now with these changes is like, people are breaking up. Like, people are breaking up like crazy. I love watching like social media trends and stuff like that, and I've been watching, just like the other day I woke up and I was like, whoa, everybody's just like talking about breakups, right? So that might be something that's happening in your reality. You might not be breaking up with a person, you might be breaking up with a friend, or you might be breaking up with like a lease or something that does not work out for you anymore, right? But you need to be able to understand that like, you are controlling your own energy. So like, if you have a friend that's constantly talking about like, you know, politics and how negative the fucking world is, or like how we're all gonna die soon, or like whatever, let that person go. Let that person go. Like, just let them live their life in another version of Earth that is completely like separate from you, okay? During quarantine, we had like a huge surge of energy during quarantine that really reminded us, like, you know, some people weren't talking to you for a while, and then all of a sudden they got quarantined and they started messaging you, hey, I haven't talked to you for such a hot minute, like, oh my God, I love you, we should hang out when this is all over. Vampire, okay? There are vampires out in the world right now, and they're hungry, right? Because they're not accustomed to getting their fix through Tinder, through Grindr, through, you know, hanging out with their friends who also enable them, or going to the bar and getting really trashed. Like, there are these vampires that are now being forced to deal with their own shit, and they're gonna come for you. They are going to come for you. I definitely have had that happen to me. Like, this past week, literally, I had a really unpleasant experience that seemed vampiric, that just came out of nowhere, like super early in the morning. I had another experience prior to that where I decided I was going to change something in my reality, and then all of a sudden there's like something else, like another individual that I hadn't talked to in forever showed up out of nowhere and wanted to like get some of this energy. And I, you know, you don't even need to interact with these people. Like, I literally just was like, I spoke my mind with one person and told them this is not okay. That did not make me feel comfortable. And then the other person, I just chose not to respond to whatsoever and not have any like level of contact, because where my energy goes, my energy flows. Like where my attention goes, my energy will flow. So I don't have time to be like going on social media and hearing about all this negativity and all this like, you know, crap, you know. Like you need to be at that same level where you're just not willing to do that. By doing that, you open up a massive amount of luck in your reality. Excuse me, I have hiccups. And if you do that and you go with the flow with that understanding, you're gonna open up all these high frequencies in your life that have to do with like glowing, and you're gonna open up this glow. So like right now is another like death moment, but it's not really like death. So like last month in June, it was a lot of Osiris and Isis energy, like death energy and rebirthing energy and loving things and like letting go of some anger. Is like towards the end of this month, July right now, and as we're stepping into August, like it's all about really understanding that, okay, you made some major shifts last month in June, and the previous months have been really intense, but this month right now, like the next week and onward, you need to be more active on the things that you don't want in your reality anymore. If you don't want people like just randomly showing up at your house, do something about it. If you don't want to hear anything from a certain person, do something about it. If you're sick and tired of weighing 200 pounds when you normally weigh 150, do something about it. Like that's the cultivation of yourself. And that's something else I've done. Like I weighed myself the other day, and I know I don't look it right now, but I am like about 50 pounds overweight, like literally, just because of quarantine. And all I've been doing is pretty much like meditating and eating, like Buddha style. I just haven't gotten like super fat. And I decided, okay, I don't like the weight that I'm at. I don't feel comfortable. Like it's not my vibe. So what am I gonna do about it? I bought myself a coaching app, pretty much like wake up in the morning, go for a 20-minute walk, track this. How many calories are you eating? How much water are you drinking? Like, I even took up doing Qigong every day now, and I took up, you know, making sure that there was a portion of me too that felt like really, really bored. I just felt like, man, like all I do is like kind of like watch shit on Netflix, right? When I'm trying to find like my own Zen space, and that's not really helping me grow all the time. So I decided, all right, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna join something on Mind Valley. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna really focus on just watching more educational content where I'm meditating. Like my pastime will become my own ascension again, and this happens on and off. You need to be at that point where you're just like, nothing else matters to me other than this one vibration, okay? And if you do that, you'll open up this energy of the spiritualist. You'll open up this vibration that allows you to be one with reality and the moon and your divine intuition, and you'll be able to see past any illusions that are trying to convince you that you're not what you are or whatever. So pick up reading, pick up watching Gaia, pick up watching something that's going to make you grow. And while you're using that to help you grow, make sure you start filtering your life in all these different ways. Like I know a lot of my friends have gotten off of social media. I think like all of them, literally all of them have gotten off of social media except for TikTok and Instagram. And they've all said the same thing. It's because those, like Facebook is like this thing where you post something and everyone wants to argue with you, or everyone's always posting something negative, or like this vibration that just doesn't matter anymore. And like you need to be at that position of recognizing, like, I'll take my losses, you know what I mean? Like it's hard for people to say like you're not going to be on Facebook anymore because you have so many connections there. But at the same time, like, hey, like what if Facebook's not a part of your life? You might be happier. You never know, right? You are the powerful creator of all the universe. I am only a representation of a grander creation that you have been able to put into effect, okay? So if you're in awe with like this reading, or you're in awe with anything that I've ever taught you, hey, you created it. I only manifested it, right? And from my perspective, I did the same thing, right? Like it's always going to be like this tug and pull. So share this with as many people as possible. If you're looking for one-on-one coaching, go ahead and check the description out below, or send me a DM on Instagram saying clarity call, or just click on one of my links to set that up, and we'll accelerate your ascension. Like, that's what we do with these clarity calls. We focus on bringing you to your highest space. All of your psychic abilities developed, all of your healer potential developed, developing your new energy modality that nobody else has, manifesting like a pro, where you're no longer even trying to manifest, and living in this reality where you're like, whoa, who was that old version of me? I don't know who that is. That's what we focus here on at ANTOJAI Ascension Academy. So definitely check that out. Join the Patreon community if you're not ready to go into one-on-one coaching, or just keep following this. You'll still keep learning. I just want to really take that moment to share with you guys all the resources that we have available for you, so you can definitely keep growing at your pace and in the shortest amount of time possible. Like, that's what the journey of ANTOJAI is to bring people to their full power in the shortest amount of time possible, and this shortest amount of strokes possible, because there's a lot of people out there telling you about all these different things you can be doing, but not a lot of them work, and not a lot of them are going to be done like that so fast. All right, so sending you all my love. I will catch you in our next episode.